in his family. Then one day when they were doing their worship in the family, they were reading a Bible. Then he suddenly stood up and tore his Bible in part and said to his mother, "From today, never tell me to trust, to believe in your God. From this moment, I no longer believe in your God." And therefore, from that moment, he moved from their home, and he also dropped out of school. So at that point, he went to the streets and he began drinking, taking drugs, and his life was messed up completely. So for the next 10 years, he was in the streets. Then one day, him with his friends, they went to a certain university called Simyuk University. So he was just accompanying his friend who had a business in that university. While the friend was doing his business, saw him. He was waiting outside, and so he was wondering, and he felt that urge to take the cigar. But when he looked around, he realized the cigarette and alcohol, they are not allowed in that environment. So he started walking around, looking for a secluded place where he could hide and take a sip of the cigar. So he found a place, a certain garden, where there were some trees, and it was far from the buildings. As he lit his cigar, he started smoking. But after the second sip, he looked around and he saw a verse engraved on a stone where he was seated. And suddenly he realized that this was a prayer garden for that university. And the name of the university was engraved on top of that stone. So he realized that this is the university where his father, who was an Adventist pastor, studied. So emotions began filling him, and he remembered that how his father used to tell him that he used to pray in this university garden, and therefore at this moment he also remembered his mom. People had come to tell him that your mother, whom you left at home, is very ill and is almost dying. That soon she will die. But he couldn't go because of how he left, and so grief filled his heart. He remembered his dad died when he was 2. He didn't even have memories of his father, and now also his mom was dying when he was 25. So at this moment, tears began filling his eyes. He really cried, but still holding that cigar in his hand.